490 species of freshwater fishes, including a lot of endemic freshwater fishes are found in the Western Ghats. Pygmy loris and hairy rhinoceros, they are endemic to the IndoBurman region because apart from these regions, you don't find them anywhere. They are rich in a lot of terrestrial as well as marine ecosystem. Why? Because these are islands. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to today's session on Environmental Studies for second semester BCom. I am Dr. Divya, Environmental Studies faculty, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So in today's session, let us continue with studying Unit 4, that is Biodiversity and Conservation. So in this session, under Unit 4, let's study about India as a mega biodiversity nation and what are the different endangered and endemic species in India. So to begin with, among the 12 mega biodiversity nations that are there throughout the world, India is also one, and India's land area, when we look into the land area, because the southern part of India is covered three sides by water. We are a peninsular country, right? So that is why the land area is very less in India, and because there are major oceans, rivers and all that are flowing in India, that is why land area is very less, that is about just 2.4%. So when compared to the whole world's land area, India has only 2.4% land area, and in that 2.4% land area, again some of the percentage goes in for agriculture, some percentage goes in for the development of cities and all that, that is for urbanization, for rural development and all that. So remaining whatever that is there, in that amount, small amount of area itself, the different species of wild animals and plants should exist. But though India has very less land area when compared to all the other 11 mega biodiversity nations that are there, but in spite of that, India houses a large number of species of plants and animals which you cannot find nowhere else in the world. Meaning the biodiversity of India is quite vast when compared to all the other mega biodiversity regions of the world. So though the total area of the country is just 2.4% of the world area, India houses 7 to 8% of the recorded species of the world in 4 biodiversity hotspots that are mentioned in the coming slides here. So what are those 4 biodiversity hotspots we should look into? So what did we understand here? Though the area of India, that is land area of India, is just 2.4%, but still we have 7 to 8% more number of animal and plant species when compared to the other mega biodiversity nations, and we are quite rich in biodiversity. So talking about the biodiversity hotspots in India. So the biodiversity hotspots in India are divided into the Himalayas. So the Himalayas is one of the biodiversity hotspots. And then we have the IndoBurman region. So this is the IndoBurman region. Then there is the Western Ghats. Western Ghats and Sunda Land. This portion, that is Sunda Land. So it is divided as 4 mega biodiversity. Of course, there are biodiversity hotspots. Among them, the 4 major biodiversity hotspots or mega biodiversity hotspots are the Himalayas, the IndoBurman region, the Western Ghats towards the south, and then there is the Sunda Land, which occurs in the island region of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So talking about each of these one by one. So talking about the first mega biodiversity hotspot in India, that is the Himalayas. So Himalayas is nothing but it is a region which comprises of chains of mountains. So it comprises of chains of hundreds of mountains and it extends from extends up to Bhutan, northeast India and southern, central and eastern Nepal. So, Bhutan, northeast India, Nepal, all these also come under the Himalayan biodiversity hotspot itself, and it is a home. Why it is a biodiversity hotspot? So, how do government consider a region as a biodiversity hotspot? It should have certain criteria, like it should have certain endemic plant species. What is endemic plant species or endemic animal species? So, endemic means they are found in a particular region. Say for example, we have sandalwood. So, sandalwood is found only in southern parts of Karnataka, that is only in South India, especially in Karnataka, some regions of Kerala, Tamil Nadu and all that, and it is not found anywhere else in the world. So, therefore, sandalwood is endemic to India, especially to the Western Ghats, we can say. So, like that is about endemic. So, it is found in a particular region, but you can't find them anywhere else in the world. So, that is what is meant by endemic. So, here it should have endemic species, it should have threatened species. So, threatened means their population is very less, and if not taken care of, they might become extinct or completely abolished from this particular earth because of human intervention. So, keeping all that in mind, so wherever there is high population of plants and animals residing, that particular regions, they put it under the biodiversity hotspots, and one such is the Himalayas. So, Himalayas is a home for about 10,000 plant species, and it has 980 species of birds, 300 species of mammals, 175 species of reptiles, 105 species of amphibians and 270 species of fishes. So, there are some plants, animals, mammals, etc. which are endemic only to the Himalayas. Yak, for example. The Himalayan yak, do you find them anywhere else? No, it's not found anywhere else in the world. Only in the Himalayas it is found. Nor it is found anywhere else in India, right? So, likewise. So, Himalayas, these are the different plants and animal species, number of plants and animal species that are present there. Next, talking about the Western Ghats. So, Western Ghats usually receives ample amount of rainfall, and the climatic conditions are also so good that it houses thousands to lakhs together of varieties of plants and animal species, and it is said that in the Western Ghats still there are many more plant and animal species to be discovered and to be identified. So, the Western Ghats is also a range of mountains, and it covers an area of 1,60,000 square kilometer along the peninsular India's western coast of Karnataka, in Goa. It runs along Maharashtra, Gujarat, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and therefore, these regions, they receive enough amount of or fair amounts of rainfall, and this fair amount of rainfall that they receive actually supports the deciduous forest and also the rainforest, and rainforest and deciduous forest are home to thousands of species of plants and animals. And therefore, because of this enough amount of rainfall that they receive, because of the plant population they have, they are quite rich in species, and in the Western Ghats itself, there are 39 protected areas in the form of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries and reserve forests, wherein no human intervention can occur. Human beings are not allowed into it in the restricted areas, because it is, when compared to all the other mega biodiversity hotspots in India, Western Ghats is the one that harbors major amount of the species of plants and animals. So, Western Ghats supports more than 6,000 vascular plants, 139 species of mammals, 508 species of birds, 179 species of amphibians, that is the frogs and all that, and 290 species of freshwater fishes, including a lot of endemic freshwater fishes are found in the Western Ghats. So, this is about the Western Ghat biodiversity hotspot in India. Next, talking about the Indo-Burman region. So, Indo-Burman region usually lies in the northeastern India to the south of the Brahmaputra river. It is also seen in the eastern part of Bangladesh, that is Chittagong hill tracts. It is seen in the southernmost China, and also it's seen in Myanmar, which almost all portions of Myanmar excluding the northern tip of Myanmar, and most of Thailand excluding. So, most of Thailand also comes under the Indo-Burman region, that is Indo-Burman Biodiversity Hotspot, except for the southern tip of Thailand, and all of Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam. Overall, the Indo-Burman region biodiversity hotspot spreads over 2 million square kilometer. And this region is one of the most important biodiversity hotspot because it houses a lot of species that are at the verge of extinction, such as the pygmy loris, the hairy rhinoceros, etc. So, pygmy loris and hairy rhinoceros, they are endemic to the Indo-Burman region because apart from these regions, you don't find them anywhere. And because of human intervention, these species are under a threat. So, it houses two important species which are at the verge of becoming eliminated from the earth or becoming extinct. Apart from having two important species which are at the verge of extinction and endemic to that particular region, they also house 6 species of mammals which have been recently discovered in this particular region, that is the Indo-Burman region, like the leaf deer, the Annamite striped rabbit, the Annamite muntage and the large antlered muntage. So, these are the different species that have been recently discovered in this particular biodiversity hotspot, and it houses 1300 different species of birds, 500 species of reptiles and 300 amphibian species. So, these are the different number of species of birds and animals that are housed in this particular Indo-Burman region. So, next talking about the last biodiversity hotspot in India, that is the Sunda Land. So, this region lies in Southeast Asia and it includes Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei and Malaysia. And it also includes the Nicobar Islands of India, and they are rich in a lot of terrestrial as well as marine ecosystem. Why? Because these are islands, so therefore they are rich in terrestrial biodiversity as well as aquatic biodiversity also, such as they have mangroves, they have seagrass beds and coral reefs. And we know that coral reefs are home to many varieties of organisms which are not still been discovered yet, and they are also rich in various number of aquatic species such as dolphins, whales, turtles, crocodiles, fishes, prawns, lobster and the seashells. And it also houses 25,000 species of vascular plants, and the United Nations has declared Sunda Land as the World Biosphere Reserve. Why? Because here human activities are quite very less, and therefore the nature has been preserved how it is since a longer time. So, therefore, the United Nations has declared Sunda Land as a World Biosphere Reserve. And actually this is a region which is actually a mystery, because still how many organisms are there in that particular region, nobody has found out still, because every now and then a new species tends to emerge from this particular biodiversity hotspot, that is the Sunda Land. Next, talking about the endangered and the endemic species in India. So, what is endangered species? So, endangered species are nothing but the species which are likely to become extinct in the impending future. Why? Because of human intervention. So, because of deforestation, because of pollution, because of poaching, because of habitat loss, fragmentation and all that, a lot of species are becoming abolished or becoming wiped out from this planet. So, such species are called as the endangered species. So, talking about the endangered species of India. So, the list of endangered species, it is a very vast list. So, I have not put it here. What I have done is, I have just given a website. So this is a website which consists the red data book. So in this red data book, you can find out actually what are the number of species which are at the verge of extinction, which have already become extinct, all which are threatened, all that information you will get from this particular website. So have a look into it. So just open this particular website, you will get all the information. It is very vast, so I have not mentioned the name of the species here. So the list of endangered species can be known through the red data book. So what is a red data book? Red data book is earlier it was in the form of a book, but now everything is computerized, wherein it is a website wherein if you open that, you will get the list of the endangered species that are there. So this book actually gives a clear idea of what are the different species of organisms that are going to become extinct or at the verge of extinction in this particular world. Why is it important? It is important because so the people will come to know about it and they try to conserve such animals so that the next will not have to show them in photographs and all that for the next coming generation. So, the list of endangered species can be known through the red data book, and this book is used to record and document all the information of the endangered species. So, why do species become endangered? Of course, it is because of human greed, because of human intervention, such as because of loss of habitat, because of poaching, that is hunting, because of invasive species and loss of genetic variation. So, all this you will study in the next coming session under a separate topic. So, all these have caused the species to be endangered or to become at the verge of extinction. So, there are 132 species of plants as of now, recent record. 132 species of plants and animals are recorded to be endangered, and according to the IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Natural Resources, Nature and Natural Resources, or International Union for Conservation of Nature, they have released a red list in the year 2021, wherein they have reported that in India there are a lot of species that have been endangered. So, I have given the list of species that have been endangered in India in the coming slide. But throughout the world, if you need extra data about it, what are the different endangered and endemic species and all that, you can just open this particular website wherein I have given the link here. So, next talking about the endemic species. So, in the coming slides, we will talk about the different species which have become endangered and endemic in India. So, first we will finish off with this definition wherein endemic species of India. So, the species of organisms which are found in its habitat in one region, but it is found nowhere else in the world, are called endemic species. As I told you, neem, for example, neem is found in India, but it is not found anywhere else in the world. So, therefore, neem is endemic to India. So, you have understood, right? So, it is found in a particular region, but apart from that region, you cannot find it in the natural habitat. I am talking about the natural habitat. In the natural habitat, you cannot find it anywhere. So, this is about the endemic species of India. So, here like we have a plant called as cycas. So, cycas is one such plant which actually you find them growing in, they put it as an ornamental plant in gardens and all that. But nowhere else you can find them in the forest because they were said to be in the dinosaur era in the natural habitat. But still it is said that there is some regions wherein you can find cycas in the natural habitat as well. Very few forests wherein. So, means cycas is endemic only to that particular region because you can't find them anywhere else in the natural habitat. So, like that. So, endangered and endemic species in the Himalayas. So, I told you India as a mega biodiversity is divided into 4 regions, right? One was the Himalayas, the IndoBurman region, the Sunda Land, and the Western Ghats. So, accordingly, I have divided it and I have mentioned like what are the different endemic species and endangered species here. So, there are about 750 orchid species, of which and also there are about 17 endemic and endangered bird species such as the white-winged duck, the white-bellied heron, and the Bengal florican. So these are endemic and endangered only in the Himalayas because they are found only in the Himalayas. And there are endangered mammal species such as the golden langur, the pygmy hog, the wild Asian water buffalo, and the one-horned rhinoceros. And there are 50 endemic reptile species there and 30 fishes which are at the verge of extinction. So complete data if you need exact names of, so I've given here 30 fishes in the verge of extinction. Can I name all the 30 fishes here? It is not possible. So that is what you can do is you can go to that particular website wherein I've given the link. You can open and find out there where you'll get ample of information there. So next talking about the endangered and endemic species in the Western Ghats. So here there are about 3000 endemic vascular plants in the Western Ghats and there are 13 endemic mammals. Means these 13 endemic mammals, these 13 mammals are only found in the Western Ghats and you don't find them anywhere else in the world. So there is this Malabar large spotted civet and we have the lion-tailed macaque, the Nilgiri langur, Nilgiri tar, the Bengal tiger. All these are the threatened species which are endemic only to the Western Ghats. And there are 16 endemic species of birds such as the Malabar grey, hornbill, Nilgiri flycatcher, white-bellied shortwing, etc. And there are 80 endemic amphibians, that is the frog species. So next talking about the endangered and the endemic species in the Indo-Burman region. So Indo-Burman region houses somewhere around 1300 different bird species and among those 1300 different bird species, few are endangered like the white-eared night heron, the grey-crowned coraceas and the orange-necked partridge. And it is a habitat or it houses around 500 reptile species and out of these 500 reptile species such as the salamanders, the lizards, the snakes, the crocodiles and all that, out of that 20 are endemic and more than 300 amphibian species are there, of which 150 of them are endemic, half of them are endemic in nature. So again here if you need to know exactly which are the species which are endemic, endangered and all that, please visit that particular website. So that was about Indo-Burman region. Next talking about Sunda Land. So Sunda Land, here 15,000 endemic vascular plants are there. So that is why Sunda Land is a nature reserve because imagine 15,000 species of vascular plants are present only in the Nicobar Islands of India and you don't find them anywhere else in the world. So this is about the endemic species in Sunda Land. So this was about the session wherein we studied about India as a mega biodiversity nation, wherein we studied 4 biodiversity regions in India and also we learnt about the different endemic and endangered species in these biodiversity hotspots. So in the next session, let us study about what are the threats to biodiversity. So we'll study in detail about habitat loss, poaching of wildlife, man-wildlife conflict and biological invasion. So this is a very interesting topic and also we'll learn the strategies, that is how can we conserve biodiversity. So there are 2 methods, that is ex situ conservation and in situ conservation. So all that we'll study in the coming session. I hope you have understood this session. So we shall meet again in the coming session. Thank you.